The illusion of Palestinian statehood and the betrayal of Arab leaders. Brothers and sisters, the truth must be spoken, even when it burns through the walls of silence. Once again, the fate of Palestine is being written by hands that do not belong to it. Once again, men in polished suits and golden halls speak of peace, while the children of Gaza sleep beneath rubble, their dreams buried beside them. Once again, the world discusses stability, while Gaza buries its dead. They call it a plan for peace, but it is a map of surrender. They call it a path to statehood, but it is a cage built with words. Demands are being placed upon the victims, not the oppressors. They say, change your books, your teachers, your history, your truth. They say, stop honoring your martyrs, stop remembering your dead, stop teaching your children who stole their land. They say, bow first and maybe then you will be called a state. But Palestine does not need permission to exist. It does not need approval to breathe, to speak, or to stand. It existed long before their conferences, and it will exist long after their signatures have turned to dust. Yet the deepest betrayal does not come from Israel, it comes from within the ranks of those who call themselves brothers. Turkey, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Jordan, Egypt, Indonesia, Pakistan leaders who speak of unity, yet negotiate the chains that bind Palestine tighter. None of them asked the Palestinians. None of them dared to defy. They sat in distant rooms, agreeing to a plan imposed by the very powers who armed the occupation and funded the destruction. Where was the Arab counterplan? Where was the dignity to say no? Where was the courage to say enough? Between the draft agreement and the final announcement, every promise to Palestine dissolved, aid restricted, prisoners forgotten, withdrawal delayed, and the question of a state erased entirely. What remains is Israel's will, strengthened and the Arab voice silenced. And what of the United Nations, those halls echoing with hollow resolutions and forgotten votes? Over 45 vetoes by the United States have shielded Israel from accountability. 75 years of promises have delivered nothing but new graves. International law stands on paper, but in Palestine, law is written in blood. The same world that lectures about human rights watches silently as hospitals are bombed, journalists are killed, and families are wiped from the earth. And still, Arab leaders call it politics. They bow before Washington and Tel Aviv while their own people cry for justice. Their embassies glow while Gaza's lights go dark. They normalize relations, host summits, shake the hands of those who bombed Rafah and Nuseirat, who turned entire neighborhoods to dust and called it defense. Never in history have the Palestinians been more betrayed by Israel, abandoned by the West, and sold by their Arab brethren. The children of Gaza stand barefoot in rubble while kings and presidents dine under chandeliers. They speak of reconstruction while the blockade tightens. They speak of ceasefires while the bombs still fall. They speak of aid while the aid itself is filtered, delayed, and used as leverage. Brothers and sisters, open your eyes. This is not peace. It is occupation rebranded. This is not justice. It is betrayal dressed in diplomacy. The leaders of the Arab world have chosen silence when their voices were needed most. They have chosen cowardice when courage was demanded. They have chosen betrayal over faith, over truth, over honor. History will not remember them kindly. Their palaces will crumble, their signatures will fade, and their legacies will be written in shame. The people will remember not their wealth, but their silence. Not their titles, but their betrayal. But the people, yes, the people are not powerless. The streets still hold the power that kings fear. The hearts of the free still beat for Palestine. True power does not belong to governments, it belongs to the awakened masses. And when the people rise, no throne will stand secure. So rise, brothers and sisters. Rise in every city, in every nation, in every heart that still beats for justice. Rise for the children who cannot. Rise for the martyrs who fell with dignity. Rise for Gaza, for Jerusalem, for every inch of land stolen and every voice silenced. Let the world see that Palestine is not alone. For as long as there are people who refuse to bow, the flame of resistance will never die. Palestine will endure. Palestine will rise. And when that day comes, when freedom returns to its land, it will not be because of kings or ministers, but because of the people, because of you, who refuse to be silent in the face of betrayal.